Hey guys, it's Fairy Grace, and I just want to ask, what are you listening to? What are you hearing? Because there is perpetual expectation, and basically, what you hear, your eyes already project and believe that they will see. It can actually deceive your eyes into seeing something that is more than or less than it really is. So, for example, in perpetual expectations, when they did some studies, they had the volunteers, whatever the people that signed up for it, to listen to sad music. And in it, they then showed them faces of people, and they wanted them to pick out the happy faces. And they struggled to find the happy faces because they perceived people, they saw people more as sad, as in the music they listened to. And the opposite was true when they listened to happy music. The people expected their eyes to see what they were hearing, and they saw people as happier. So what are you listening to? It is so crucial in the sense of people that are negative, people that are Eeyores, people that are feeling down or depressed or struggling. And I'm not minimizing depression in any way. I'm kind of going on a surface level of it. But you can help yourself feel better and see the world and your situation as better by listening to positive and uplifting things. So for me, there are times when I do feel down. There are times when I struggle, when I feel like I'm so alone, when I'm tormented mentally about some certain things going on in my life or regrets in my past, as most humans would, that are in tune with who they are and wanting to strive to be a better person and strive to have a happy life, but have moments where they struggle. And that's okay. Being transparent and being vulnerable to either get help or ask someone to help you or Google online, hey, I'm struggling with this. How can I overcome it? Because you can. For every problem, there is a solution. If there's no solution, there's no problem, as they say. So there truly is an answer for everything you're struggling with, you're going through, whether it is your health, mentally, physically, whether it's your finances, whether it's any of your relationships, with your career, your dreams, anything you're struggling with, there is a solution. That I promise you. Death, there is a solution. It's called heaven. Thank you, Jesus. So what are you listening to? Are you feeling down? Are you feeling downcast? Are you feeling like the world's against you, or you're just struggling with being where you want to be in a happy, joyful state? You can change that in small steps, and you can immediately change it, I should say, in small steps by listening to positive things. So for me, as I was saying, when I have moments where I struggle, and I call myself, I don't even know if it's a term, if it makes sense, but I've coined myself a hopeless optimist because I am constantly optimistic. It is my default. It's what I go to. It's what I've always gone to. It's just how I'm hardwired and programmed, maybe genetically, biologically, neurology-wise, what I call that, whatever you call that, the neurology of that in your brain. But that's just me. I say it runs through my veins. My blood is be positive. I can't help it. But there are moments where being human and life situations, things out of my control, or things I've chosen to not be good because of the choices I've made. There's ways I'm really good about picking myself up, pulling myself up by the bootstraps, and moving forward. And listening to positive music, listening to YouTube videos of TED Talks, and listening to speakers, whether they're preachers or just inspirational or motivational or scientific. I listen to those things that are going to lift me up in my personality and what I like and what makes me tick. Maybe for you, you're feeling down, but guess what you love? You love woodworking. You love creating things with your hands and building. And those are ways you can lift yourself up. And if you're listening to the music that makes you feel energized, that makes you feel alive. I saw a hysterical meme on Instagram. I just recently kind of tried to get active and involved with Instagram. I'm very anti-technology. I'm very much an in-your-face person of let's meet, let's shake hands, let's hug, let's talk in person. So I'm trying to embrace what life is slowly turning into, more technology. And I saw a meme meme, and it was an adorable little dog, and the writing, the caption on it was, when life is sucking and you get in your car and you hear your jam. And it's just like, this dog's like, yeah, loving it. That's how I get. I totally get like that. I will get in my car. I will get on the open road. I will get out of my funk by playing music. And I love music. Like, I truly love music. I love salsa music to dance. I love swing music to dance. I love tango that I learned very minimal years ago. And I love music not just to dance to. I love reggae. I love country. I love worship music. I love Christian praise music. There's a difference in rocking out like king and country and then some worship songs. I love oldies but goodies. It just depends what mood I want to go into. I love grassroots and harmonizing and just a guitar, acoustic guitar and singing. I just love it all, and that's one of the things I do to get out of a funk. So because of perpetual expectation, it confirms that what you see and how you want to feel by listening, you can project that into your life. And another way, if you don't believe me, this kind of works. Hollywood uses it all the time. Theater uses it. And basically, have you ever watched a movie? And you don't even realize this, but the music that they're playing in the background is making you know, maybe I can call it a foreshadowing, to know what's going to happen, right? So you watch a suspenseful movie and you just see at that moment when it gets darker and the music gets intensified, and it's just this music that you know something bad is going to happen. There's a knife that's going to be happening, or someone's popping out behind that door or behind that tree in the woods. The music is telling you what is going to happen, and your eyes are expecting that. And if you're like me, I get it from my mom. I cringe, I cower, I cover myself, I hold on who's ever next to me. I can't handle it. But in the same breath is true when we're watching those Hollywood movies and they're in the midst of the battle and we're hearing the music, we don't even realize it, but it's uplifting us and we're getting encouraged and we feel like we're going to conquer the world and it's a war cry. And then you just hear the music change as it climaxes to something wonderful, that they're about to win the battle, and you know that, and the music is changing and the people's postures changing, and the action is showing that they're about to win. We thought they were going to lose because that's in the hero's journey. All movies have it. I won't ruin it. I'll ruin it for another video. But because of the hero's journey, we know this is a part, and the music sends us that message. So what message are you sending your heart today? You're sending your mind, because your feelings are your body and your thoughts are in your mind, and those two go hand in hand. So when you feel crappy, you start in your body, you start to think in your mind that you feel crappy. And because you think it in your mind, then your body starts to feel crappy physically and actual. And then because you're feeling crappy, then in your mind it's like, I feel crappy, therefore I'm thinking crappy, and then I'm acting crappy. Do you see how they ping pong off of each other? Just think about it the next time you feel bad. I guarantee you probably are like, oh, I also have a sore throat and I'm battling a headache and my body's achy. And I'm not diminishing any of that at all. I'm just saying they go hand in hand. As your body feels, so your mind thinks, and vice versa. So what you need to do is you need to kind of shake it off, dust it off, wash it off, sing it off. Singing actually gives you, and science gives you and releases chemicals to your brain that make you happier. Walking releases the chemicals to your brain that release those endorphins that say, I am happy, and you get a high. So that's why I tell people, when you're feeling crappy, you're probably these are all extemporaneously speaking moments just shooting out of my mouth. I have so much that I want to say, and I think that's why it doesn't really always come out clear and concise and like as a speech or message should be. Hey, I'm going to say these 3 things. Here's the 3 things. Okay, I just said the 3 things. Now go conquer your life. I'm going to get there, but I need to get all the craziness that's inside me not organized, just get it out and fine tune it. That's why I don't advertise these YouTube videos yet. But the point being, where was I? Normally when you're feeling crappy is you're laying down, like you're in bed. 2, you've watched way too much TV. and you're sitting on a couch and you just zoned out and you overdid it. Because watching TV is not bad, and overabundance in it gets to that level of crappiness. Or 3, you've been on a social media thing, scrolling, scanning, rabbit trail here, rabbit trail there. You feel crappy. So what I say at those moments, because I've been there in all of them, is I pull myself up by the bootstraps. I have to want to change. I have to want to get out of that feeling, want to get out of that thought process, want to get out of that negativity. And what I do is I physically change my environment. Another place that could be that you feel really crappy is you're around negative people. People give off energy, smells, sounds, vibes, all these things, spirituality, constantly giving it off. So you are picking that up. And if you have opposite spirits or they're giving off something negative in any sense of those ways, you're going to be picking up subconsciously. You don't even realize it. Because you're supernatural and you're natural, you have both in you, and the realms of those two worlds are constantly colliding or uniting. So I physically get myself out of that situation. If it's just a bunch of negative people talking about doom and gloom and the sky is falling and every health issue they have, get the rainbow out of there. Remove yourself from that situation. Or if I've watched too much TV, I count, okay, on the count of 3, I'm going to turn this off. Or sometimes I need a little more prepping, like if it's a Netflix series I'm kind of into, but I know I need to move on with life. I will say, okay, this is the last one. They're like 30 minutes. This is the last one. Then I'm getting up and I'm turning it off. Yes, sometimes I have gone on to 2, but I don't exceed like to 3 and then just still sit there. I make that conscious decision. So if you need to give yourself some prep time, say, okay, I'm going to watch one more episode. Okay, I'm going to scroll 10 more swipes. And again, sometimes I'll go a little above and beyond the extra swipe or the extra whatever, but I do get there quickly, shortly thereafter of what I committed and said I was going to do, holding myself accountable. And sometimes you have to hold yourself accountable, guys. You got to tell yourself, what do I want? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to stay miserable. I'm not going to waste my day in bed. I'm not going to sleep my day away, which in turn I sleep my life away. I'm not going to watch all the episodes of the first, second, and third season. I'm going to limit it so I can do limitless things and going out and conquering the world. And I will physically take myself off the couch, out of the bed, and go for a walk. Or if weather isn't permitting and that's not really calling me, I will just get in my car. I don't know exactly where I'm going, but I get in my car. I physically change the scene that I'm in. I get out of where the feeling is. That's huge. And as soon as you remove yourself from wherever you're feeling the crap, you will start to feel better. Another thing I do is I will brush my teeth. That's like one of the first things I'll do if I'm feeling really crappy for the day. I like my teeth to feel clean. I like them to feel healthy. I like them to feel smooth. That's just me. Another thing is my feet. And they say scientifically, if your feet are uncomfortable, you're uncomfortable and you're grouchy. Gelin, Manelin, I forget what it's called. Sorry, I know someone's probably corrected me somehow. I wish I could hear you. Magellan or whatever. But they had a commercial that people were grumpy because their feet were grumpy. And it is true. So I will also get my feet comfortable, whether they need to be warm or cool. They're never hot. I'm always cold. My hands are like really cold right now. Warm them up. E.T. I always feel like I have E.T. hands, and I do. It's okay. I usually warm my feet or get them comfortable or get in comfortable shoes. So just doing that will start to help you feel better. But again, the whole premise of this was perpetual expectation. What are you listening to? If it is negative, if it is down, if it's a sad movie, if it's a sad book, if it's sad people, yes, there's times and seasons we need to feel all of those emotions. That's part of life. That is beauty, the ups and the downs that make life. Not all the downs, let me tell you. But they make you who you are. They make your life. And when you have those up moments, those down moments, it just feels like more than a conqueror, and you are, and what you've survived and what you've been through. So listen to positive things. I listen to scriptures pertaining to my situation. I will go on YouTube and I'll Google it, whatever I'm going through. I'll say scripture on, and I will listen to them, and someone's just reading them to me, and I just meditate on them and let them, and I do other life too. I'll finish my cereal, I'll do the dishes, I'll sweep the floors, because sometimes it is good to multitask, get the things done that you need to by listening to uplifting things. Another thing is, in closing, so with perpetual expectations, what we hear, our eyes then believe and perceive we're going to see, and we start to kind of bring that forth, right? Some of us have listened to people that have spoken bad about us, negative about us, attacked us, with their words, which attack ourselves mentally, and we hang on to them. There was a guy, listen to him, he gave a keynote speech. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, and I'm too lazy to research it at the moment, but he gave a speech at the keynote for Pittsburgh Art Institute of Pittsburgh a few years ago. And he was saying that he almost did not become the artist and the cartoonist that he is. And he's well known for when like the eyes bug out at characters and cartoons and stuff, like, I don't know, that was a horrible example of that. Sorry about that. But that's him. That's what he's known for. And he was, I believe, at Disney. And he was doing a caricature for a lady, and it was one of his first caricatures, if not the first one. But it was like his first day, first week, something dramatic like that. And she ripped him apart. And she was like, not only did she say how horrible he was, she spoke how he was not going to succeed, how he was not an artist, how horrible he was. And then if it wasn't bad enough because he was a young teenager, that she was going to get his manager and fire him, just this horrible stuff. And I guarantee you that woman just really had a crappy life, whether her choosing or someone else, or probably a combination of both. And she was just diverting her issues to that poor young man. And listen, a caricature artist, if you don't know what they are, it's like where you sit in front of an artist and he exaggerates pieces of your body, not in a good light. So a person that is not in a good mood should not get a caricature drawing, period, let alone in a bad, or even when you're in a good mood, you may be sensitive and be like, does my nose really look like that? Is my hair really that crazy, right? That's their job, to over exaggerate. But when this young man at the time heard this, he like quit his job, he cried, he sobbed, he thought, oh, all my dreams, everything that I thought I was going to be is not, because I am not. Isn't that horrible? Well, thankfully, somehow he pulled himself up by the bootstraps and he became a very well-known cartoonist and artist and doing great and mighty things. But he heard something negative, and then in his mind, he started to believe it. In his heart, he started to receive it. Some of you need to let go of that parent that said you were not good enough, that parent that never said how great you were, that sibling that only put you down, and that neighbor that spoke death over your career, your life, maybe even your relationships, like you're going to end up just like your mom, or you're going to end up just like your dad, and say these horrible things. My friend, when you hear it, your eyes expect to see it, your feeling starts to take hold of it, and you start to feel those words, and then your mind starts to receive those words and think. So then because you think it, you start to act it out. So what you need to do is, again, in closing, because this is 18 minutes, if you like this, thumbs up, subscribe, tell me what you liked about it, what resonated with you, share it with someone that needs to hear positive things. But listen to positive things, and you can start that today by speaking words of affirmation to you. And I know that's like this new thing that's going around, words of affirmation, but it is so true. It's just speaking life back into yourself. I have a story of my mom that said someone said something when we were kids, and I spoke something out, and my mom, near the end of her life, she's like, I regret that. I regret that I let her speak those things, and I let you speak those things in innocence. And then it actually came about. It actually, what we both said, actually came about some 20 years later. And my mom knows that the power of your words. So you can speak life by saying, I am amazing. I am a great artist. I am an amazing father. I run a successful business. I love my body. I love the weight that I am. I go to the gym and I work out. I love that I eat healthy and broccoli. But speak these life that you want, or you are, or you want to be. Speak them out, speak life, and then pray, Lord, remove the lies that people have spoken over my life. Maybe I didn't even realize I heard. Maybe they spoken when I was in my mom's belly. Listen, kids can hear, and I know people are like, that's so dramatic. Okay, it may be dramatic, but it's true. And I can tell you a story with my first husband about that, but at a later time. And it was till him until the end of time. It stuck with him. So you can pray, Lord, remove the negative spoken over me, remove the curses, remove the lies, remove the things that are stopping me from being what you created and knit me together in my mother's womb and knew me before the hands of time. Let me be all those things and remove the negative that I've heard, so I only see positive, and speak life into me. And then start speaking life into yourself. Hang out with people that speak life into you, and to also get that what is it, reciprocity, reciprocation, sowing and reaping, whatever you want to call it. You speak life into other people. I have so many stories of positive and negative, of strangers or people they barely knew, speaking over them, the positive and the negative, and how that changed the course of their life. So pray against all of that, and then start speaking life over yourself. And in closing, I'm just going to say that you are amazing. You are beautiful. You are more powerful than you know. You are stronger than you think. You can do this. You can handle this. You will get through this today. And I pray right now that whatever you need to hear, that the God Almighty of creation that made you so fearfully and wonderfully will speak to your heart today, and that you would have ears to hear and eyes to see, and you would feel how much you are loved. I may not know you yet. I may not know you ever personally, but I know that I know you were made with a purpose and a calling, and it's beautiful, and I believe in you. I'm Fairy Grace, and you're amazing.